Hello everyone. Today ProDirecta, we came to announce the celebration of a new partnership with a modular house company that we now represent in the councils of Góis, Arganil, Pampilhosa da Serra, which is our area of action. So, who are they? This company builds in light steel frame, buildings in modern architecture. They will turn your wishes into reality. And as expected, they have norms and standards for construction quality, which they not give up. They have an architectural and engineering office at the customer's disposal. Why choose light steel frame constructions? Well, taking account cost, quality control, and budget control. Class A thermal and acoustic solutions. Recyclable and environmental sustainable solutions. Anti-seismic construction. The construction time, average of 120 days. The durability of the construction. They also are comfortable with this type of construction and have their projects pre-approved by the city councils. They start by drilling into the ground, finding a sufficient stable terrain to fix the support pillars. A slab created 5 centimeters above the ground for breathing, so that there is no infiltration or moisture. Shrinkage by cold and expansion by heat. The slab to be built is in concrete. From this slab, the entire structure is made of light steel. The entire structure of this house is sealed with projected polyurethane, interior of the exterior walls and ceiling. The walls are insulated in rock wool and with double plasterboard, so that the wall, when touched, sounds extremely solid. The floor has a first layer of Virock, then a second layer of 40 millimeters of roofmate, a third layer of Virock, and a fourth layer of floor or ceramic, depending on the taste and the room division. Plasterboard ceiling with LED lights, and the roof. Their roof always respects the distance of 20 centimeters, thus creating a thermal acoustic box that helps to create energy class A. The exterior, in a sandwich panel, the drainage of water is made by the corners of the house inside the walls with no gutters inside. The kitchen comes furnished, equipped bathrooms and fitted wardrobes. They give a 10-year warranty with key in hand. The prices is excluding the surveying and licensing process. In this way, we have come to present their constructions and the construction method they use. The light steel frame, commonly known as light steel. The construction system, light steel frame, presents several advantages for the customer and for the planet. It's ecological compared to the traditional construction. Final waste is reduced by 90% because we use the recyclable materials. The construction time, the average time for a single family house in masonry is around 18 to 24 months. And in light steel frame we need on average 6 months to complete the house. It has the anti-seismic advantage because due to the technology applied, the torsional capacity of the construction structure is much more effective at changes in the earth's crust than conventional construction. The energy efficiency advantage also, the internal coating of the exterior walls in projected polyurethane results in the attribution of the Class A energy certificate. Then there's the advantage of acoustic efficiency. They use high-density rock wool on the interior walls to ensure a high level of comfort and silence between rooms. All of their buildings are born from a blank sheet. reflecting step by step the customer's vision, taste, and available budget. The projects are included, such as architectural, engineering, sustainability, and stability. So, how they build? The anatomy of the construction in light steel frame. As it does not use bricks, the LSF construction follows a different logic in relation to masonry, reaching, however, a similar visual result, but much superior in precision and quality. This combination of elements has a reason that each component has a specific function, aiming to warranty a resistant, durable, and beautiful facade structure. The structure is composed of galvanized steel that receives a special anti-corrosion treatment, which gives a useful life of more than 300 years. For buildings close to the sea, they use a thicker layer of galvanization. Then there is the OSB, an oriented strain board, which is a panel made up of pressed strips of reforest wood, which increases its mechanical resistance in relation to a common wood plate. It is used as a brace for the steel structure. Steel frame constructions offer great resistance to earthquakes, storms and typhoons, and much of that resistance is warranted by this OSB. Even if it doesn't make a difference here in our country, it is a sample of the system's performance. The entire external structure is packed with a special membrane, like a vapor barrier. This membrane works like our skin, prevents the moisture from entering, but allows the building to breathe. This way, problems with mold and infiltrations are a thing of the past. From the membrane, there are several materials and technologies that we can use to coat the external walls. But as the cementitious slab is the most used coating due to its similarity to the plaster, it was the sample I used. The walls receive a special finish called base coat. This finish is nothing more than putty applied to the entire length of the wall, responsible for its waterproofing and its monolithic appearance. It means that the joints disappeared and the wall is all the same coating. From base coat, the wall is treated in a conventional manner. Can receive paint, texture or any other type of coating such as stones, porcelain, wood or capoto, called also external thermal insulation composite system. And once finished, it looks just like a masonry wall. No one is able to visually identify whether the house was made in one way or the other. There is also the option of finishing with the Virock inside, only resinous, which can create a very pleasant effect depending on the project. Between the faces of the wall, they use glass wool or PET as an insulator, which warranties high thermal and acoustic performance. In the daily lives of the residents, high performance acoustic term is a term that summarizes three basic benefits. The wall has great capacity to keep the internal temperature more stable, that is, the environment is cooler in summer and cozier in the winter, and as a result there is a great energy savings with the air conditioning. In addition, the insulation reduces the transmissions of sounds both from the outside to the inside of the building and from the one environment to the other. The inner wall is very similar to the outer one, however it is coated with drywall, a material used in civil construction in the United States for over 100 years. To eliminate the seams when drywall boards meet, they use a micro-perforated tape with a leveling compound, specially developed for this purpose, which guarantees a completely flat wall without cracks in the long run. It is called joint treatment. After treating the joints, the wall can receive paint, texture or any other type of coating such as the stone, ceramics and wood. They finish the interior walls with the traditional plasterboards. At a first glance, the appearance of the finished wall is no different from the conventional one, but for those who like details, it is a much smoother wall with incredible precision in the square and square. And don't confuse the drywall steel frame with the drywall dividers. Only the plates used for closing are the same. However, the wall of the LSF system is much more robust as it uses structural profiles and it is well ventilated. So it is much more resistant and flexible when it comes to fixing heavy objects on the walls. For the construction of the slabs, they follow the same principle as the walls, a light metallic structure coated with OSB plates, which receives a reinforced counterfloor and the respective finish. The glass wool on the slab also plays an extremely important role, preventing noise generated on the upper floor from causing discomfort to the lower floor. Again, once finished, there is no difference in the slab compared to the conventional system, both in appearance and in sensation. The slab does not appear below, as many may think. On the contrary, it is very firm and looks like a concrete slab. The roof is a flat band with a sandwich panel cover, and there is no difference in the materials used in the system. In the electric installations, in the conventional steel frame construction. The same distribution boards, conductive hoses, passage box and conductive cables are used, the same. The thermal comfort has been a primary concern of the steel frame since its conception, since the system originated in countries with high thermal amplitude. In case of doubt, thermal amplitude is the difference between the maximum temperature and the minimum temperature over a year or even over a day. In some regions, in the same day, the temperature can reach 50 degrees Celsius in the hottest time and drop to minus 15 degrees overnight. Therefore, an ideal building should reduce the effects that the temperature variation causes inside, always keeping the environment close to the comfort zone. In practice, this means that the building will be cooler in summer and cozier in the winter. To make this possible, the steel frame construction uses thermal insulations such as wool, glass, rock or PET, EPS, XPS and polyurethane. The most common being wool and polyurethane. The benefits. Even though the thermal amplitude is not so big in our region, the thermal insulation provides greater comfort for the client and great energy savings with air conditioning throughout the building's useful life. As the temperature is kept more stable with air conditioning equipment, for example, needs to work less to compensate for losses, resulting in energy savings. The acoustic comfort is an indispensable item in quality construction, which goes unnoticed in most residential construction projects and specifications. The main factor that affects acoustic comfort is the sound insulation, that is, the capacity of material, the walls, the slab and the roofs, to attenuate the propagation of the sound waves. In the sound insulation, high-density material is used, since the weight hinders the vibration and consequently the sound propagation. This is the principle used in conventional construction. Thicker and heavier walls have greater sound insulation, and in this type of construction they opted for the use of a set called mass spring mass, where the discontinuity of the means is responsible for the attenuation of the sound waves. This is the principle used in light steel frame construction, in which the sound insulated is inserted between the drywall plates. It is a much more intelligent system where the wall can be specified and built with the necessary performance for each situation without significantly increasing its thickness or weight. One of the most frequently asked questions about the steel frame system is the fire resistance. Steel frame is fire resistant. Most of the components used in this system are either flame resistant or self-extinguishing, preventing the spread of the focus. They comply with all the standards required by law. To get an idea, firefighters require that the internal and external walls of a building, as well as the slabs, have a TRFFR, a time required for fire resistance, of 60 minutes. The cement boards, for example, have a flame resistance of more than 120 minutes, twice the minimum time required by the fire department. Drywall boards are also flame resistant. An internal wall formed by two standard drywall boards on each side with glass wool in the middle has a TRFFR of 60 minutes. Depending on the use of the construction, the standard may require the fire resistant time of up to 120 minutes. In this case, it is possible to achieve this time required for fire resistance using fire-resistant drywall boards. In conclusion, the steel frame system perfectly meets the standards for fire resistance, being able to overcome them with ease. It's also much lighter. The average weight of a masonry construction is around 1,250 kilograms per square meter per floor, considering the occupancy loads. In the steel frame, this value is only 250 kilos per square meter. That is 5 times lighter. This great difference provides enormous savings with structure and foundation. There's also less rubble production. The generation of rubble in a steel framework is around 1%, while in masonry this number easily reaches 25%, which is a scary number. But one that almost no one pays attention to, if in a masonry work waste and generation of rubble is between 20 and 25%, this means that every 4 houses built, one is thrown away. Then there is the speed. Your housing ready 3 times faster. A steel frame work can be executed in up to 1/3 of the time of a work in masonry, with much superior quality. So, what is the cost of the light steel frame system? Well, the cost, taking into account all the factors involved, will always be clearly lower than the conventional construction, not forgetting all the immediately and future benefits. So, be sustainable, be green, think about the future, build on the light steel frame system, if possible, build with us. And we, ProDirecta, we are a real estate agent in central Portugal, have several plots for sale available, be they farms with old houses or other plots for sale, as well as houses in villages, where you can choose the option of a project in light steel frame and make one of these constructions, which are very interesting, of high quality, ecological and more economical. And we are waiting for your contact. Thank you.